I feel nauseous, believe me. Never had a lot of shit come easy. Had to work hard, struggle just to be me. Had to rise up just so they could see me. Did what I had to do just to feed me, and what was left.
Hello my beautiful viewers, welcome to Altcoin Daily with Bitcoin Gorilla. Well, I am back. OGN is currently trading at 0.0193. Now, if you don't know, the last time we dumped last in mid-May, we were able to hit the price of 0.154, but the good thing is we are still currently above that price, as we see OGN did recover to around the price of 0.26, but that was not strong enough, as price couldn't hold above that price and price literally dived down back. That's why we are currently trading at the price of 0.194. But the good news is we are still above the last low. That's the first good news. The second news is we still have some existing support, right? So it's not like most tokens that have lost all support. OGN still have support laying behind, and in fact I know that the current price is also still within the monthly support range. Now I know this should be like an advantage to OGN, but we're going to dive deeper to see if this could withstand the sell-off, especially with the entire crypto community experiencing a downside, Bitcoin breaking down. Like I said in my last analysis, Bitcoin movement affect all other altcoins. So let's start the analysis with 4 hours chart, right? So we see as Bitcoin struggles to stay above 30k, and of course it's failing as it's trading around 28k, and we want Bitcoin to be able to withstand the 26,800. And if Bitcoin does that, altcoins are likely going to survive and pull back up. So we see the last low, like I said, is right here around this price. So this price, in fact, I think they even went, let me zoom in to not miss that price. I think they even made it down to 0.4. Oops, 0.5. Okay, so here's the thing, their pullback, this particular point is very important, and that is around the price of 0.16 range, right? Very important. They shouldn't go below this. I know I keep saying they shouldn't go below a number, but guess what? Who can say what this market can do and what it can do? The market is always right. So this is why using your stop loss if you are on futures is very important. So for me, I do see the chances of them still holding up this support is high, right? So if they do hold up, so they could pull back, this current pullback, I talked about it in my last analysis. I said OGN is going to go sideways, and then we're going to experience a pullback. Now this pullback should move like this, right? So we could get something like this, and like this, and like this, and like this, before we got to move up. So they shouldn't go below this, right? But why are they going to be experiencing this line stopping them from going all the way up? So literally what I'm saying is, in a shorter time frame, we could get a move up. After this little push down we're having, we're going to have a move up that could take us back to that 0.27 to 0.3 range, if not 0.34, right? So we could get that move that could move either like this, or they get stopped here, right? Why here? Because of this previous resistance here. You can also see the previous reaction here, here, and here. So somehow there is a hidden thing, a wall hidden right around this range, right? So we have to first of all get above that invisible stop, and I think it could move like this, right? And they get pushed down and they move again. So there could be multiple attacks on this yellow line, which happens to be my control line. There could be multiple attacks on it, and once they succeed in breaking above it, now guess where OGN is heading to? Probably 0.4. Now Bitcoin has a lot to say in this. Bitcoin is fighting so hard not to get to 20k. At least they want to see a bounce before the dump to 20k happen. And if Bitcoin can withhold 26,800, at least above it, or stop at 28 or 27,500 and pull up, altcoins are going to likely react. OGN is no different. So I see OGN likely maybe in June, July. I don't know how long this is, because what I do foresee is a likely more sideways market to prevail, right? a more sideways market that will give. Why the sideways market? Because they are going to need the strength to get above this control line, right? This line right here, this yellow line that is slanting down, and I'm about to give you a view of what that yellow line is and where it's coming from. So to get a view of that yellow line, of 4 hours, let's just say 0.3 is still the main thing we need to overcome, right? We need to overcome that. So you see the yellow line is a long journey that they started in May 2021. So you see is a terrible resistance for them to just get above it. So they are going to need multiple hits with a good capital entering the market. They are likely going to succeed above that line. So I want to give you a proof of what that line has done in the past. So you can see this rejection here. You can see this rejection here. You can see the rejection here. You can see the support it played here, right? You can see the support it also played right there. So you can also see right here. So history repeats itself. So the line is not going to make it any easier for price to get above it. Price we need to struggle, and for that reason that line is going to force sideways, because as price stays below it, it's going to be forced to repeatedly hit it. After multiple hitting, then they can make above it. So this tells me that if OGN withstand the sell-off above 0.54, okay, let me stay open-minded. Let's take our chart to the weekly chart to see the worst case scenario. What should we think from OGN based on simple candlesticks? Now the candlesticks I'm seeing here are not really joyful. They look sad. They look very sad on the weekly, but I'm going to go straight to the point and still tell you what I'm seeing. This 1, 2, 3 of course ended up with an inside bar. An inside bar is a clear indecision candle. So in the previous pass, we see that the price of 0.1 is very important to OGN, and the price of 0.86 is very important to OGN. Now these are outstanding support. Is this price going to push us down to it? But for us to see that price, we need to first of all get below this. And with the way that price has been respecting, now I need to adjust this line. Coming to weekly chart, it looks not well drawn, so I'm going to take it right there. So with the fact that price has been respecting this line, let's try to put the hope that the price will continue to give respect where respect is due, right? So that these bulls, if they push back, so I'm going to likely have a sideways market, overlapping candles. So if you look at it at weekly, we're going to have more weeks of lapping candles. These candles are going to lap themselves, just like they did lap themselves here, just like they did lap themselves here, just like they did lap themselves here. So I do expect lapping of candles, which will delay the market move, right? So if we successfully get a beautiful move up, so at the process of this lapping of candle, we could have one stubborn candle trying to make its way below our support. But obviously I see that this 0.1 is going to save the day. Now, as long, I always say this, and I've been saying this since 2022, that as long as we're within this price range, that was when we first hit it around 0.24, right? I say as long as we're within this price range, OGN still have hope, right? There is still hope as long as we're within the support. Because why? It is the monthly support. It is the monthly support. So there's hope. But of course, if Bitcoin takes everything to trash, who do you think is going to be left standing? I don't think OGN will survive it. So, but I stay open-minded because I know crypto is going nowhere. So no matter how we dump, there is still hope. Bitcoin itself is going to recover, and so will OGN. So that's weekly chart. So in what I'm saying is, first of all, we need to get above 0.3. So the first target for me for hours chart is we're going to push a little down, but for me to enter I need a confirmation candle, and then we enter and the move up goes. But again, don't expect it to go, it's going to come back right down, and it's going to make this move, and it's going to make like this, and before it moves like this, before it moves this way, right? Before it moves like this, right? So we're going to get that move like this, right? Like playing out. So do expect a little delay. I keep saying patience is needed with all this altcoin. This is why I have started bagging my bags for 2025 and stop stressing myself. If I need money, I go to futures, and then I try to make my day work on my futures. But for my sport right now, I'm just using the opportunity to bag up. So on the monthly chart, what am I seeing? I'm seeing that first of all, we have two terrible lines. This white line, right? that is slanting down and this yellow line that is slanting down. This is going to cause a terrible rejection on the weekly. So let's look at it on the weekly. So we see that first. So you can see how it has been rejecting price, the rejection here, the rejection here, and the rejection here. So even if we make it above the yellow line, of course you can see, like I said, the price, the two channel has beginning to converge and coming together, which means very soon it's going to be too tight to hold price, as price will explode to the upside. But you can see as the slanting channel is going down and getting tighter, you can see that the bulls will start getting themselves leveling up, right? And before you know it, we move up. But that is not going to be an easy move. First of all, Bitcoin need to get settled. So what I'm trying to say is the opportunity where we are a good buy? Well, I think for me, I'm going to be a little patient if I'm buying more OGN, because I do see that the price where it is at, I will start looking at a buy once I see 0.9, right? But most importantly, my price is going to be around 0.6. I'm looking at 0.6, 0.6, 0.82. So I'm going to see how price reacts within this range. Just if price doesn't go below this 0.5, I'm going to buy more OGN. So it's good right now. This is not the time to rush. This is the time to be patient and wait for confirmation. You can see what it did here. As it went up, it went down before the move starts, right? But when it went down, there is a little sideways. So that's what I like seeing. That's what I see coming. It's going to go like this, and it's going to go sideways, and then we're going to have the move up. So expect OGN to take you on a ride sideways. It's not going to be fun, it's going to be exhausting, but we are going to make it through OGN, and it's an opportunity. So this is a quick update. This is not going to be something for you to be afraid of, because I see Bitcoin right now is fighting hard. We see Bitcoin bulls are trying everything they can to hold above. So let's take a sharp quick look one at Bitcoin, because I like contrasting the price and making a quick decision based on what that price is saying. So if I look at Bitcoin right here, I see that price is still struggling, right? So we see price, of course you see the threat on Bitcoin that Bitcoin could continue the leg down, right? And if Bitcoin continue the leg down, then we see Bitcoin could be heading to 20k to 18k range. But of course that is not going to be easily, especially when everybody is expecting it. One thing I've learned with this market, it just does not happen when you want it. It happens at its own time. So you can see it, you can expect it, but you can't tell when it's going to happen. And the problem is everybody now is looking at Bitcoin going to 20k, which is why I see this market rejecting that, right? So in the past, there's a strong support, another second support. So we are literally just on this support for the third time. Piercing is allowed, right? Kissing is allowed, and that's what the price just did. It just kissed it, pierced through it. But we see after the piercing, they are struggling to go lower, right? So in other words, what I'm saying is Bitcoin must maintain. Now, depending on the exchange you are trading, every exchange has its own price. I think Binance is around 26,800, but current is around 25,500. That was the last low. So can Binance hold up as they pulled back? So what do I expect to stop BTC from falling that will save altcoins like OGN? Now let's look, like I said, let's take a minute, look at the chart and compare it. What Bitcoin is going to do is going to help us decide what OGN is going to do. So very important is this line again, this white line, which is like the yellow middle line of our trending channel. But unlike OGN that is contrasting, we can see Bitcoin channel is not actually contrasting. Instead, it is staying at a very regular move down, right? So the price is not contrasting, good, but can they withstand the sell-off? Now I am very impressed on how far the price has been on a sideways, which is a good thing. So if I look at Bitcoin on weekly, it's going to give me a lot of insight to take and look at what is happening to OGN. So we see Bitcoin, since they arrive at this support, all they have printed are hammers, right? 2 hammers. The past 2 weeks since we arrived at this current support, we see Bitcoin, even though Bitcoin the last 2 weeks we pierced through the support, but we never closed below it. That's a sign. The 2 candles ended up as a hammer on support, hammer on support, and each of them none close below this line. Now forget this week we are on, we still have like 2 days to the closing, and you can see it's still struggling to go down. So if we're doing these 2 days, it pulls back up and closes above this price, it means these bulls are not allowing this dump. It means these bulls are rejecting the move down. And what do you think? When too many attempts is made on a support and it fails to break, they will reverse and go back, and they will make a move like this. And this move is going to be what will inspire coins, altcoins like OGN, to start looking for the move to the upside. And that is where I say OGN could go sideways for a while Bitcoin try to gain its balance. Remember, Bitcoin is the king, so this is why I had to compare and contrast OGN to Bitcoin. So if Bitcoin succeed, OGN will also succeed. And we could see OGN taking the force that Bitcoin is going to react from, not from rejecting that breakdown, to move up to this point. But of course, like I said, that is not going to be a day job. We're going to come back and update you. I remember Bitcoin Gorilla. If you have loved this analysis, don't forget to subscribe, give me a thumbs up. My OGN lovers, I read all your comments and I do appreciate it. And one thing I will tell you is, don't forget, I'm also bagging up OGN. And if this happened to be a video you love, don't forget to subscribe, give me a thumbs up, leave your comment and your feelings about the current market on OGN. Thank you very much, and don't forget that I appreciate you all, especially all my subscribers.